Why did you decide to have SMP?
I was thinning out. I could clearly see it throughout my youth. I had a head full of thick hair. Probably an issue that a lot of men face is that as we age, sometimes start to thin out. And then I happened to be on Instagram. And I was looking at different things to try and have that thick head of hair again. I looked at multiple different routes, but Foley Sim seemed the most natural looking. I like the photos. They looked natural, didn't look too overdone. And I thought, hey, this is something that I think I could do.
So why did you pick Foli Sim?
I came across a lady by the name of Kate Dawes, and her Instagram is full of her work, and I saw a few other ones that were in Melbourne, I think, and perhaps in America, but obviously Kate is local to me as well, so that was a big tick. But none of them looked quite as natural as what Kate does, and you can see because Kate has a lot of passion for what she's doing, and that comes out in the work, comes out in the photos, it comes out in the end result.
So with your look, we've gone for a slightly more defined hairline rather than a super soft one. Why did you want to have that look?
I'm Mauritian, which is very close to Africa. It's so I'm looking for maybe like a bit more African American centric, but not too harsh with the lines. I also wanted something that, as I grew older, it wouldn't look awkward on me as well.
So how did you find the whole SMP experience?
Fear of the unknown is always something that stops you from making that first step. Kate greeted me and helped calm me down. I was a bit more nervous. What was I going to feel like? What was it going to feel like? Honest truth, it's not as bad as what you're thinking it is. It can be a little bit uncomfortable. However, after a couple of seconds, because the way that it's done, a couple of seconds she moves to a different spot. Think of it like this, short-term uncomfortability for a long-term comfortability. It was a good payoff.
Have many people noticed the difference?
Actually, so no one has actually noticed any kind of difference. I've had to prompt them and say, do you notice something different? Which is something I actually really like, because again, I was looking for something that looked natural. I didn't want it to be too stand out, but it's something that I'm extremely proud of now, extremely happy with. I love it.
Do you think it's value for money?
100% value for money, 100%.
Have you tried other hair loss treatments and options before trying SMP?
I tried some medication to try and prevent my hair from thinning out. That was fine, but I don't think it actually worked the way that I thought it was going to. And to be honest with you, I think SMP stood out the most to me, again, because it looked the most natural. There was a few other methods that I was thinking of. I would definitely say, if you're wondering about it, if you're thinking about it, get in contact with the guys at Foli Sim, at least have a chat with them, and they'll educate, they'll have that chat, they'll talk to you about what you could potentially look like. That was the turning point for me. That's after that, I thought, no, this is what I want to do.
Did you think that SMP was painful?
The best way I can describe it is that it has its moments where it's uncomfortable, but honestly it also has its moments where it kind of feels like it's just itching a bit of your head. You're like, oh yeah, let's stay there. You're always going to overthink it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say between 3 and 4.
What were you looking for in an SMP studio?
First of all, I was looking for a place that's going to be clean. That's obviously a big one. Professional. I wanted to make sure that the individuals that I was speaking to, had a track record of good quality work, and also communication as well. I'd never done anything like this. And the team at Foley Sim were extremely communicative and supportive.
For clients or potential clients that are considering scalp micropigmentation but are really scared and nervous about making that first contact with us, what would you advise them?
First of all, get in contact with the team. If you're thinking whether you're going to look good, if you're unsure about it, speak to them, contact them through their social media, give them a call, just come and have a chat with them. They're professionals and they'll educate you, they'll help you visualize what you're going to look like.
How did you find the healing process and recovery from each session?
After you got it done, you're not supposed to shave your head for about 4 or 5 days. And then after that you can shave it. But honestly, there was no pain. There was no discomfort. I was actually really surprised. Yeah, as long as you look like looking after it, keeping it trimmed, The maintenance is pretty low.